to our second episode of the CulverCast. I am with D. Jefferson. So our episode this week is Culver Community PTO. So thank you for joining us.
No problem.
What is your involvement with PTO? I am here with PTO royalty. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I am the PTO president sitting right now. Been involved with the PTO for a couple of years, and we, in that time, have really tried to just kind of push the PTO back into the community because COVID took us out of the community by and large. So
yeah. Awesome. So what does PTO do then? You said with COVID, I came in into the school the month before everything shut down. So your reign with PTO is all I know really about PTO, which has been great. So what is PTO involved with? What do they do? What does that stand for?
Yeah, no, it's no problem. It's fun times. We try to support the teacher and student body. And so I'll even back up a little bit more. A lot of people don't know what that even means. So PTO stands for the Parent Teacher Organization. And it is made up of parents and teachers, right? So I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit later. But what we try to do is support the teachers in their curriculum, not only in the curriculum, but also in making sure that the students have a really well-rounded approach to school itself. So we try to provide a lot of extracurricular activities that might not be offered otherwise.
Right. Okay.
To, again, supplement the curriculum and then give outside experiences as well. And so that is why we try to focus really on a lot of community activities and a lot of community involvement so that we can kind of be a conduit for the community to meet the student body.
Yes, I feel like at every town event, at least, there's a PTO booth, there's a PTO zone. Like you guys are there, you're in the community, you're connecting not only with the kids at the elementary school, but kids that are visiting and
trying.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys have a big event next week, the STEAM Expo. This is the second year for it, correct?
Second year for it,
awesome.
Yeah. So one of the other things that COVID helped get rid of was the science fair. Yeah. So, when I came on board, I had kind of a conversation with Erica James. She's the president over at the elementary school. And we realized that there was a gap, right? So nobody was really doing science fairs anymore since COVID, right? And so we decided, okay, well, this is a great opportunity. So we worked with the staff, and a lot of the teachers got together and they helped organize the students to do science projects. And then we use that as a lead-in to the STEAM Expo, right? Where we bring in, STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math, right? And so we bring in all types of organizations from around the community and the community at large as well.
Awesome. Yes. So most people know STEM. I feel like not a lot of people know about the STEAM. So it brings in the arts. So what's the importance then of incorporating the arts in this?
Other than the fact that the arts sometimes go unnoticed, right, or taken for granted, they need a face. And a lot of times people don't realize, but there's a lot of art involved in science, technology, and the like, right? And so, glass blowing, for example, it's considered usually a very artistic thing, but there's a lot of science that goes into that. You have to make sure that the chemicals are right. You have to make sure that the glass is hot enough, and all of those things kind of work together.
And when I think of arts, I'm thinking more of like dance and like those kind of like the performing arts versus like glass blowing. That's something I wouldn't even like put in that category there.
Exactly. And so what we're doing is using this as an opportunity to make sure, once again, the students do have a big enough exposure that they can start figuring out what they want to do.
Right. Which kind of feeds into then the high school program that we have here with the career coach and kind of learning about those pathways and stuff. So that's awesome. Get those kids thinking about that super young. Who are some vendors that you have coming to that?
Good question. So we have a lot of new faces this year. I'm going to pull up a list here just very quickly.
Oh, great. Yeah.
But so the Academy actually is getting involved with their wellness program. They're bringing that over here. And then we have some reaches like Marshall County Solid Waste. So they decided to come in. Now, we do ask that people do have a kid-friendly activity, so that one is...
I'm interested to see what they have.
Yeah, it's interesting, at the very least. But then we also extended things like Marian University's Ancilla College, and we have our perennial supporters like Earthworks, who is, they do pottery and crafting downtown. So just all over,
Yeah.
all over.
I think we still have the project from last year. Our little girl did on our refrigerator from Earthworks.
It was popular.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She loved it. Yeah. And if you can, like I said before, if you can keep the attention of a 2-year-old, you have a great event. And she loved it. So,
well, that's the great part. This year we have over 50 activities for the kids to do. So it's not just, the activities at the booth. They'll have a lot of other things
great.
they can get involved in. Now I'm going to keep that part a secret. So if people want to see it, they can come down and, and explore it for themselves.
For sure. And it's because it's a free event, right? Awesome. So it's a great thing. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like, but it's end of February. So it's a great time to come in and do something inside then.
You know what? We had it at the end of February last year, and it was like 50 plus degrees outside.
Oh, well. So, I guess it was 60 last year.
Yeah,
I can
works.
see that.
So, I mean, I guess it's shot in the dark, but we'll figure it out, no matter what.
Great.
Lot of activities for inside, and if the weather prevails, there might be some outside activities that the kids might be able to take part of as well.
Wonderful. Awesome. All right. Well, then leading into our next event. So just a couple weeks ago, we had Winterfest. This was your guys' first year with Winterfest with the Kids Zone?
It's our first official year. Yeah, the Kids Zone is kind of new. So it's something that, again, we worked with Andrea Kanachi. And, she heads up a lot of our events for the town.
Right.
Right. And so we realized there was kind of a hole there. Like the people were coming with their kids and they didn't have a lot for the kids to do. So the PTO stepped in, and we want to make sure that we partner with the town in the way that they need, and that is to set up a kids zone. So we did Fall Fest, which, this year was a little rainy, but that's all right.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. It was a little rainy, but that's okay. We still, had a lot of hot chocolate. People were happy with that. And then we repeated the Kids Zone again for Winterfest. That was just last weekend. And the kids had a blast there.
Nice. So. And hopefully next year we'll get some snow. And there can actually be like a sledding hill that they can do, or, a snowman building contest or something. And then you guys do the same thing for Lake Fest, correct?
We do.
The Kids Zone? Yep. Nice. Awesome. So then the Spring Fling that you do in the springtime, that's more for teachers, correct? That's one of those events for teachers?
Spring Fling, now I would say there again, it's for the kids. We do Spring Fling for the PTO, if you want to, put a financial aspect to it. That is where we do most of our fundraising.
Okay.
We have a silent auction that a lot of organizations in the community donate to, and then we auction that off, and that's where the PTO makes a lot of the funds that we then use to help buy school supplies or help. Some of the kids need a little help with field trip assistance, stuff like that. So we use those funds to make sure that everything is running like we all want it to.
Nice. Oh, and then, so when that auction does come here in probably a few months or something, that's something that anyone in the community can bid on, correct?
Anybody can.
Perfect. Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And then, so the Snowflake Spectacular that you guys do, this is the second year or first year?
This past December was the first year we did.
First year.
We were doing a Santa Secret shop.
That was because that kind of took place of it, didn't it? Yeah.
It did.
I've heard that was a headache. I've never been involved with it, but
I wouldn't say a headache, but it was. It really was. A lot of people. I guess the popular phrase right now in business, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, right? We were putting a lot of effort into it, and we were not getting a lot of return on it.
And when you don't have a lot of volunteers, and it requires a lot of volunteer hours, and
So we tried to break it down, say, okay, well, what do the kids really want out of this event? And they just, wanted to buy mom, dad, grandma, something nice.
Yeah.
Right. And be able to spend that money on their own. And then as far as the volunteers go and the teachers go, it was a lot easier, I think, to kind of circulate people through the event because we opened it up. We brought in a lot of vendors from around town. And so, again, you had that community connection. We wanted to make sure that people were involved, and it was a win-win for everyone. So the vendors made sales. The kids got to shop for grandma, grandpa, mom and dad, and the teachers and the staff and the PTO volunteers, we got to really have just kind of a lot more support in getting the event done.
That was another event we went to, and it was great.
Cool.
Our little girl, we had to bribe her to get out of the bracelet making.
Well, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah, it was awesome. We all purchased something, and it was great. So then what's your daily attendance or your average attendance at your meetings, do you think, for parents and teachers?
For the volunteer meetings?
Just for your monthly meetings, because you just had one, didn't you? this past week, or
more or less. We had to. There's a PTO. So the things that we have that we are storing in one of the closets at the school.
Oh, okay.
And so we after the Santa Snow Shop, or excuse me, Santa Snowflake Spectacular, right? The Kiwanis asked to borrow the Christmas trees that we.
Oh yeah, because you guys did the Christmas tree judging and decorating, yeah.
Yeah, and so we loaned that to them, and to do cleanup, we ended up just leaving the stacked trees in the closet, so we had to tear that down. That replaced the meeting, but normally at a regular meeting, we have roughly anywhere from 15 to 20 people that are involved.
Nice.
That includes our current sitting board, so president, vice president, secretary. As well as some of the parents that are really trying to take a more active role, and they'll probably be our next generation because, as some of our kids get older, I mean, we kind of age out of the PTO.
And
we got to keep the next generation going. So that's
nice. And those meetings are once a month, correct?
They are the second Tuesday of every month.
Second Tuesday. I know they're on the all events calendar on our corporation website as well. So
yes.
They can find that. The sign's always sitting out that morning. I see the sign in front of the school letting everyone know. So if parents want to get involved with PTO and say they can't make a meeting but they're interested in, I want to volunteer for this, or I'm not really sure where I can use my talents, what can they do?
A couple of different things. First up, we this year started to put our meetings online.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So they're live streamed. And our marketing director, Liz, right? You know Liz.
Oh, yeah.
So she has made that link available ahead of time so that people can go ahead and jump online if they cannot actually physically be at a meeting.
Nice.
But if they also want to go ahead and volunteer, they can reach out to myself or Liz, any of our sitting board members.
Can you tell me who?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Haley Day. She's our treasurer. We have Sarah Neidlinger. She's our vice president. Again, I'm the president, D. Jefferson. And then we have our secretary, which is Beth. Oh my goodness, she's going to kill me. Petrosky. I always get that wrong.
I'm glad you had to pronounce it and not me.
but she's our secretary. And so then we also have a lot of other members that are actually out and active. They can go to the school itself.
Okay.
Talk to the office staff. We stay well in connection with them, and so they'd be able to go ahead and say, "Okay, we'll get your information over to the PTO."
Great. Okay. But they can email you directly.
Absolutely. PTOs always. We have an email address that is put on like every communication we send out, and that's the one we use for just really everything. And oh my goodness.
I want to say culverpto@gmail.com.
It's culverpto. Hold on one second. Yep, @gmail.com.
Okay.
So.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's where we keep that, and
Facebook group, and you guys have a page, and I see you very active on that. That's awesome. I feel like Liz is live on that quite a bit, which is great. That draws up engagement. People get excited. So
yeah, Liz is, again, she's our marketing director, and we really needed that.
Oh, for sure.
That boost.
Yeah.
To get kind of back in there, get our face out there, and Liz has done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
She's been kind of a contact person for a lot of the events that we've had, and she's also.
She's my go-to person anytime I have a question. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, me too.
Yeah. Great. Well, is there anything else that you would like the community or anyone to know about PTO?
Yeah, we are still growing, and we want to make sure that the PTO isn't just an organization. It's not always just hey, can you donate to the PTO and help the teachers? It's something we want to be an organization that is actually giving back to the community as much as we are trying to tie into the community, right? So we want to make sure, teachers, this is my soapbox, but teachers are a very underappreciated group of people, right? And a lot of times it's one of the only professions I know where they actually have to buy their own supplies from time to time. It's ridiculous. So, and we want to make sure that doesn't happen, right? And so when the teachers are happier, we're making sure that our students are getting exactly the education that they should be getting. And they have, again, opportunities to participate in things beyond just the school. So,
right.
Yeah. So that is the message. That's what we're trying to do. It is a big undertaking, but we want to make sure that Culver at large, right, has a cornerstone, and we want that to be the PTO.
Yeah, great. Well, I love what you guys have done in the 4 years I've been here. It's very, I seem to think everyone's involved, and You guys do a lot with the community, which is great. Kind of pull everyone in. So thank you so much for coming and speaking with us.
It's my pleasure.
I appreciate it. So
all right,
thank you
so much.
Here are your Culver community events for February 16th through February 22nd. On Saturday, the boys JV and varsity will travel to Tri Township with a 6 p.m. tip-off for JV and varsity following. On Monday, February 19th, all CCSC buildings will be closed in observance of President's Day. The school board has been canceled for Monday evening. On Tuesday, the 5th grade basketball team will be home against Argus. The middle school girls basketball team will travel to LaVille. The middle school wrestling team will travel to Erie, and the boys varsity basketball team will play Granger Christian at home. On Wednesday, February 21st, the 6th grade girls basketball team as well as the middle school girls basketball team will travel to Argus. Elementary wrestling team will travel to Argus. Middle school wrestling team will travel to Erie, and boys varsity basketball team will play Triton at home. On Thursday, February 22nd, the elementary science fair will be held at Culver Elementary School. 5th grade and middle school girls basketball will both play at home. 6th grade girls basketball team will travel to Winnemac, and middle school wrestling will travel to Knox. You can find all of these events on our school's event calendar at culvercavaliersathletics.com.